I think if there's nothing of value to say as far as what we specifically would think, you know, I think advocating for things we agree with, we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Or if there's something that we see like that's a public take that we just watched the cop slide incident, for example, because it's very funny.
Yeah.
But then like, if somebody were to reply being like, we're trivializing the police, it's actually epic.
We're trivializing police brutality.
Yeah. Then it's like,
police are, no.
Police brutality. Police brutality meaning brutality against the police done by slide.
Police doing brutal things.
Yeah. Brutality
Violence against police.
Yeah, by slides. It's underreported.
Yeah, like not police fatalities, but when like Scorpion does a fatality on a police officer, yeah. But
No,
we made a stop resisting joke on that. And I saw like one person be like, little soon, don't you think? Soon to what?
Soon to what?
I mean, today I would imagine somewhere.
Also,
probably.
the slide is okay too.
Yeah.
In America, the too soon does not work for mass shootings and police brutality.
Yeah.
Because it's happening every day.
And depending on who you're talking to, like Marjorie Taylor Greene or other people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, good example. I can't think of a way to say my sentence. So I'm going to think about it as we watch more of the video before I go any further. The dude from the city council meeting has a podcast called Going Deep with Chad and JT.
Times a fucking day.
Too soon, I just did that.
Yeah.
There are weird things people say to almost like diffuse the ability to have a conversation about it or prevent the ability to have a conversation about it, which is, too soon. You can't talk about that. I don't know.
Yeah, then you can never talk about it. It's never going to stop.
I think having a no politics rule makes sense, especially for you, because it just hours of the day.
Yeah.
Like, literally minutes alive.
Because I need to make it different. Like, I already do Leftovers with Ethan. That's political.
Yeah.
And, like, I see people complain that it's like, oh, I already heard Hasan's take on this. And it's like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm a human. Like, there's only so many stories I could cover, and I'm doing it for 10 hours every day. So that's why I was like, I wanted to differentiate it. So we just do drama instead.
Yeah.
Internal drama.
You could block him. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Guys, right?
Yeah, and for now, because Elon's getting rid of blocking on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
What's the consensus? Is that that's actually not viable because of the App Store? I couldn't tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, App Store terms of service makes it impossible.
For Android, yeah.
Specifically for Android.
Android and Apple Store both say that you need to have a way for users to block other users or to remove things that cause harassment.
Already, wow.
Red Mac, thank you. Red Macintosh, thank you so much for the 6 months. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, when your app gets taken down from the Apple Store and the Android Store, you're so fucked. I mean, everyone remembers the situation with porn on Tumblr. They had, similar to Twitter, by the way, Twitter has this problem as well, where instead of just posting normal, like, tentacle hentai, people were posting cheese pizza. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. I never saw it on the entirety that I was on that platform, but I guess people were posting it. And they got pulled from the Apple Store. And so the CEO was like, nope, we're removing all porn on the website. No more porn. Nope. Mm-mm. Listen, normal tentacle hentai for Tumblr, that is normal. Okay, that was normal for Tumblr. And they ruined, like, they did everything that they could to get back into the App Store, but removing that shit ruined the app. Like, not removing the cheese pizza, to be clear. That's a benefit. I'm saying removing the rest of the porn. And I'm not saying it because I was looking at the porn, although that's also true. I'm saying it because it started automatically flagging shit that didn't make sense. It literally didn't make sense. Like, you would post like a drawing of like a keyboard and it'd be like, your photo's been taken down due to sensitive content. It's like, what? It was a key. What was sensitive about it? I don't understand. The keys are sensitive, I guess. What are you talking? What? And then the platform engagement just went way down because you can't even post anymore. Like, when your post gets like shadow banned on Tumblr because there's a photo in it or a video in it, what are you going to do? Normally you get like, let's say 10,000 notes on a post. Now you're getting like 500 because only very few people are even seeing it. You know what I mean? I bet the Tumblr CEO fired like half of the content management team the year before or something. I mean, yeah, that was a No offense to the Yahoo CEO, girl boss or whatever, but that was a terrible purchase. It's very funny watching the same thing that happened to Tumblr happen to Twitter, basically consistently, where all of us collectively who use Twitter are like, guys, Elon, it is not worth 44 billion. This platform is worth like $5 maybe. You're not going to actually buy this, are you? And then the moron had to buy it because he got sued for saying that he would buy it. And it was like very similar to similar for Yahoo. I think Yahoo paid like, was it 300 million or something for Tumblr? And it's worth, I think, last time I checked, it's worth like a couple million. Let's see. Yahoo purchase. Nope. No. How Tumblr went from a 1 billion Yahoo payday to a 3 million fire sale. They literally just burned $997 million. And what was funny is that, like Twitter, everyone on Tumblr was like, you're not actually thinking of buying this, are you? This platform is not worth $1 billion. We promise you. It is not worth $1 billion. And she bought it anyways. And then she regretted her decision a lot, highly. I think she said that she had the opportunity to sell it at one point for 300 million, but sunk cost fallacy, and chose to not sell it. And then when it hit 3 million, it's like, we got to get rid of this. What a fucking terrible purchase. Jesus. Twitter is making this look like nothing. I mean, Twitter is losing billions of dollars, multiple billions of dollars, right? Tumblr lost, or like Yahoo lost 1 billion. It's still a lot of money, but yeah. Okay, let's get back to the video.
Well, at least that's what
Apple App Store too.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
Because, but then Linda Yaccarino, the new CEO of X, who we hear from like once a month,
Girl boss,
was like, actually, we're gonna make a new, better like replacement for blocking. And I don't fully understand what that could possibly be.
They say they're going to beef up the mute functionality to basically be the block functionality.
Oh,
I think at this point it's like they're all just like dancing around Elon Musk's whims, because on a whim he'll be like, everyone's blocking advertisers, everyone's blocking all my blue check mark fanboys. Right. So how do I solve this? Okay, I'm deleting the block functionality.
Yeah.
He doesn't even think about it. He fucking tweets it out.
He responds to problems the way that I feel like a 5-year-old responds to problems. Like when you see a problem that is happening on your website, what you should be, or anything really, you should be thinking of the best solution that will actually solve the problem. But as you remember, maybe when you were 5, you did not do this. You were like, oh, this object is leaking. Well, I guess I'll just put it in a bowl. It's like, whoa. Why don't we solve the leak? This is stupid. This is not a solution. And in the same way, it's like, no, people are blocking the blue check marks. What do we do? Let's just remove the block feature. Instead of, I don't know, going back to the original algorithm where when you would tweet something, the most pertinent responses would show up first instead of some blue check marks that are like, so true. Crying, laughing emoji. So stupid.
Or X's it out, whatever
you
want to call it.
Yeah. Truth Socials it out on Twitter.
So he truths it out, and then everyone's like, oh, you can't do that, dumbass. Like, it's a violation of the terms of service. You're gonna get deleted off the app store. Like,
and then he's just like, I was kidding, dude.
And then instead of doing that, they're like, oh, we meant something different.
Yeah.
And then everybody that does deserve to be blocked will go, brilliant move, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quite the gesture.
Yeah. What was it? Masterful gambit, sir,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like he slams his dick into a car door. Masterful gambit. Yeah. Wait. That just reminded me of the Mark Zuckerberg fight too, where he
just no
where
way.
it's like never gonna happen, and he keeps making it seem like Mark is running away from him.
It's so funny that he's saying that, and I don't think even his fucking fanboys believe it.
Yeah, no. Whereas Mark is like, I'm doing this for real, dude.
Yeah.
I am the BJJ man.
That's fun.
Like,
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, correct me if I'm wrong, but he has actually participated in BJJ tournaments. Like he's actually fought other people. It's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? That's what it stands for. I'm not super well versed in like fighting stuff. Like he's been training. Yeah, he's training for years. He actually gets into tournaments. He's won tournaments. I don't think Elon has ever fought someone in his life. I'm pretty sure the closest Elon Musk has ever gotten, blow job. I'm pretty sure the closest that Elon Musk has gotten to a physical fight was a bully doing this. Haha, got you, made you flinch. That is probably the closest he's gotten to a fight. Ow, Denims. Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
Don't have any
all he needs
hobbies.
to do is post another shirtless photo and it's over. You know what I mean? Elon Musk shirtless looks horrific.
yeah.
Like, literally, like a photo of, was it Vulcan Stylebender is just standing next to it in that fucking photo. And he looks incredible. Like, he looks so good. And then everyone was replying, there's a reason weight classes exist. Yeah, he would actually be able to run at him. I don't exactly know what.
I don't know.
No, I don't. I mean, most people have never.
What's insane to me is just you have so much money. You could pay like to have 20 chefs make you different food every day and count all of your calories for you. You could hire a trainer that lives in your house. You have so much money. You can achieve the exact, once you're at that level of money, you can look exactly how you want to look. And he's just like, no, that's too much work. Disbelief. And just genuine disbelief. I won't.
Never done any like any kind of martial arts or anything, so they're just like talking out of their ass. I think like the amount of cardio necessary for combat sports is insane.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even transferable to like other sports.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jarvis knows this probably pretty well. The cardio required for like boxing, for example, it's a lot. It's a lot. From the people that I spoke to who participated in Creator Clash, which is an officially sanctioned boxing match, they talked about how strength was very relatively lower on the totem pole. Cardio was so much more important, and cardio was a way bigger indicator of how your fight would go than anything else. The average person would be gassed halfway through the first round. I would be, even if I wasn't getting hit. Even if no one was hitting me. Just throwing the punches would tire me out. Like doing the little jumping and I'd be like, oh, wait. 1 second. I just need 10 seconds. Just give me 10. You know? I fought one round and I was gassed, can confirm. Yeah. There's also a lot of explosive cardio as well as just endurance. Yeah, and that's not even talking about getting hit frequently. You know? Like you have to be able to just take a punch like it's nothing. For Creator Clash, do they provide you a trainer or do you have to sort that out yourself? They actually provide the trainers. Anissa and Ian try their best to make it so that anyone can participate, just because hiring a professional boxing trainer who has worked with other professional boxers, those tend to be kind of expensive, and they want Creator Clash to be open to anyone. Whether or not you have the money to pay for a trainer shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter at all. You know, and I think they did a great job. I'm really sad about how many people like pirated it, and that sucks. But I think next year will be even better. They're going to come up with a different streaming system to make money and to raise money for charity. But yeah.
because it's not just cardio, it's technique, and also a tremendous amount of usage of muscle in a very particular way.
Right.
And you get gassed out. That's why like rounds don't go like. That's why rounds are not the same in mixed martial arts or in boxing. As any other sport.
Yeah, it almost doesn't make sense when you're like watching it, or like if you watch boxing and people are like, "Why does it look like they're moving in slow motion?" And it's like, it's so you're so gassed, like it's crazy.
Yeah, I look like that compared to the
you would
bottom.
know.
Yeah, dude, fucking.
You're a boxer.
Yeah, dude, I gotta fix my. We talked about this already, but I gotta fix my my nose. I can't breathe through my nose.
Oh damn!
And it was a big problem for training because my coach was like,
"Oh, I thought after the fight or something."
No, I just through my life. I was
kind of hoping that would actually fix it.
I was hoping,
like
I was like, fingers.
No, actually, so much respect to Jarvis. Like, I'm obviously partial because, like, I'm going to be partial to my friends, but so much respect to Jarvis and Sabrina. Sabrina being the smallest person with the smallest reach, that is impressive, in my opinion. To know that, like, any competitor you get is going to have more reach and is going to be taller and is going to, like, have more muscle. That's, you know, like, I respect it. I fucking respect it. And I have a lot of respect. I mean, I have respect to everyone who goes into a ring because I would never do that. I can't. I just can't. It's just it's too much for me. It's too much for me. What was I trying to say? Yes. But Jarvis was struggling during his match. Not just because boxing is difficult, but because he can't breathe through his nose. And it's difficult to constantly breathe through your mouth in the middle of a fucking boxing match. And he wasn't, I might be mistaken on whether or not he does or doesn't have asthma, but I know that he uses an inhaler, and you're not allowed to use inhalers mid matches because it's considered like an unfair advantage. That is, that's crazy to me. That's insane to me. If I needed like an inhaler and I wasn't allowed to use one, I would technically it's a performance enhancing drug. Yeah. So it's not inhalers literally have steroids in them. Yeah. But yeah. Even if you have, and if you have ADHD, you can't take your ADHD meds in the lead up to the fight too in most drug tested leagues. Yeah. Obviously, if you were having an asthma attack, yeah, the medical staff that they have on site would insist that you use it, even if it disqualifies you or whatever the fuck. But yeah. That's why the ref is there, to stop the fight. Exactly. Yeah.
Cross. I had a asthma attack where I like couldn't breathe, and so I didn't actually take any damage during the fight, which is good. But I do need to get a surgery.
I didn't
just found out I have sleep apnea, so that's pretty sick.
Confirmed?
Yeah.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's you need a CPAP machine?
Maybe. I think I have an appointment next week with the actual doctor.
The sleep doctor?
Yeah, the options are like a throat surgery or like a jaw surgery, maybe fixing my deviated septum, maybe CPAP machine. There's like a few different extreme options that I'm like I'm going to try to navigate. It's like mild and obstructive. So
from what I've heard from people who have had difficulty breathing through their nose, I am not a doctor. I do not have Jarvis's medical history on hand. But from what I've heard, especially from friends who have gotten their septum fixed, they all love it. They do not regret it at all. It was a very simple recovery because any nose surgery is it's a week of recovery. It's not too bad. You can go back to like doing normal stuff within the week. And every single person I know who's spoken about getting their deviated septum fixed has said it is in a game changer. It changed their life. They love it so much. They can't believe they weren't living without it. Yeah, I've had deviated septum surgery. It was super easy. Like, obviously it is surgery. Surgery is always going to be a little bit scary. But yeah. I got septoplasty. It helped a little bit. I still struggle to breathe. Yeah. And I mean, like, that's why I said I'm not a doctor. Okay. If you deal with difficulty breathing through your nose, I'm not saying go get this immediately. I'm just saying from what I've seen, it's not as scary as you might think it is, because surgery is always going to be a little scary, but yeah.
Oh, I think that has to do with like my position, and then it just like stops my ability to breathe. So, oh, actually, okay. So last episode we talked about this guy that we saw when we were at an Airbnb in VidCon. Like we turned on the TV, we were logged into somebody else's YouTube account, and recommended to us was this man trying on a Power Rangers cosplay that it had taken him 5 years to receive because of, I guess, backups during the pandemic and stuff. So he was like, I ordered this in 2017. It just arrived. I had no idea it was like, I was even going to get it. And then he's really excited and he tries it on, and slowly the like realization hits that like he can't really see through the mask. He can't really breathe through it.
Sad.
It's kind of sad,
but he is so sweet and like,
yeah, he's like keeping the energy up. He's like, no, but it looks incredible. It's just like, I can't, he's like,
he's a picture perfect Red Ranger. Like he looks
can't
really cool.
See, and we only described this.
I want to see this so bad. Rotted Ranch, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, hi, Kia Raiders. Hi, welcome. Hi, everyone. Power outage for over an hour, and Denims is not even 40 minutes into the video. Listen, I'm trying. I'm doing my best, okay? I'm trying to get through this video as well as I can, okay? I hope you had a good stream. We're just watching this podcast, the SadBoyz podcast, and pausing too much, as you guys know.
Video didn't show any of the visuals, and then on the bonus we watched it but also cut out the visuals because I didn't want anybody weird to like go to the guy, and it was just fun to have our guests like react to it. And the guy fucking found the episode. He was like,
it's just hard plastic that bends and forces your nostrils open with adhesive. Whoa. Whoa. Well, if anyone has difficulty breathing, you can try this. This would probably be a relatively not expensive temporary solution. I know some, obviously, if nasal dilators are also kind of nice. Obviously, if you have severe sleep apnea or you have like severe issues, this is probably not going to do shit for you. But yeah, the only way I can sleep is actually with those nose strips. These work so good. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know about it, Breathe Right nasal strips. I've never even heard of this.
Hey, thanks for talking about it, guys. Maybe. He was such a sweetie about it. So since he's outed himself, I want to shout out the world of Ha. He's the man. He is the Red Ranger. And you know, respect.
Do you have to? I feel like you maybe not even really requesting it. You've got a very impressionable audience just through the size and influence that you have. Not like your demographics super impressionable as people, but you just have a large audience.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what happens, like there's always going to be some people there. Yeah.
Do you feel weird about like the SadBoyz demographic has never really been, they haven't harassed anyone, like we've not had experience of that, but I just that thing was no. I
just get your money up. Yeah, what do you mean?
My fear is always
get your licks in.
It's not.
You gotta go harass someone first.
Yeah, that a Tyler the Creator concert. I don't know. Like
I like people finding. There's like a handful of creators with like 900 followers or something that I love. I think they're so with super niche interests and like weird hobbies, but it's not laughing at. It is absolutely laughing, and like they're so passionate and joyful and really cute.
Right, and you're laughing with them, but it would be hard to communicate that to an audience.
I think if I sent 100 people, 60 would be mean in a way they don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah, I usually don't do that for that reason. Yeah. I like there are definitely people where I have a don't tap the glass policy where I tell them like, listen, you can look at something, you just can't try to interact with it, please.
Don't ruin it.
And no matter how much I stress that, people still end up going there. Like when we were watching MasterChef back in the day, like there was some real freaks. Like they would get like there was this dude named Cutter, and he was like this right-wing guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like some of the haters of mine who are like obsessively watching would go there and be like, this guy's talking shit about you. Like they would write it in his like Instagram post. Like, go check out this guy's like profile. He's talking shit about you. You should like sue him. It's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah. I
have to say that is one of the nice things about being like a more medium-sized creator. Because it's a little bit of a sweet spot, at least in reference to this, where I feel like when you are as large as Hasan is, and your head is that tiny, and when your platform is that large, you will have dedicated hate watchers. You will have people that show up every day for 8 hours a day. They clock in and they're only there to make your life worse, right? I feel like I'm relatively lucky that I have not dealt with hate watchers, or at the very least I haven't dealt with it in a long time. And man, hate watchers and hate commenters fucking suck. They suck. They suck so bad. Oh, sorry. My earbuds just died, so I'm switching to my wired ones. Let me just change the audio really quickly. Okay,
that's why I have to be extra careful too.
Yeah.
Like I don't just have like fans who will react in a certain way. I have people who will even portray themselves as fans to go in there and like do some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably got them as well. For a little while after finishing Black White, we were getting Rose, the daughter. We would get Rose's Instagram sent, like, and she has this podcast. I don't
and it's like we don't want to
that.
Yeah.
Also, the show is 500 years old. And you're sending me like an Instagram.
There are
too
many people who are like, it's the best. We still haven't watched the last episode. It's because we were going to wait till Jordan was back in the States to do it. So I've got it on DVD on the bookshelf. So.
I love that. I showed it to JPEG Mafia.
Oh yeah,
really?
I loved it so much. Like I watched it. It was like a big meme. And you guys know like all the details, right?
Oh yeah.
You know that like the makeup artist got an Emmy for the blackface.
Which is crazy,
and
by
then
the way.
also went on to work for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
There's also the
Falcon's actually white.
Do you know about
they use the makeup?
Do you know about the Oprah episode that's been scrubbed from history?
Oh wait, is it the N-word one?
No, it's called we had to look this up before. I can't remember the title of the episode.
What?
It was a stupid pun about changing race. Oh, changing races is the name of the article.
Oh, I think I might have seen it.
Yeah, it's like there's an archived article from Oprah's website of an episode that Oprah's people were like, this has to go away. But she had on the cast of Black White, and there's a GIF that is still archived where they did a what will your race look like in different like you put Oprah's face in it, and then it's Oprah like flipping through a bunch of different races. Yeah, it's wild.
That's awesome.
I always love that interpretation of you defeat racism by doing the funniest possible version of racism.
Oh, and it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, and it looks so bad. I've seen the race swapping memes or like images that you can generate. And the AI ones are pretty decent. I don't think you should engage in it, and I don't think you should do it. It feels like a mistake. And that's why I haven't done it or looked for it. Yeah, like white Obama. Like the race changing things nowadays are actually pretty good. Let me see if I can find this one. Wait, no, I want a side by side. I've been trying to see if I can find one. Oh, dude, this was still so funny. This one is still hilarious. But that's not what I'm looking for. Pause. I can't find it. I don't know if Google has like scrubbed that image off and you have to look for it on DuckDuckGo. But I'm struggling to find it. But then you guys know what meme I'm talking about. You guys know what meme I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
I mean, black white also. We talked about it, I think, when we reacted to it. Whiteface technology is so underdeveloped.
Yeah.
Blackface technology has been cooking
Literally.
since the 20s.
It's like, yeah, Dave Chappelle, it hasn't changed since the Chappelle
Yeah,
show.
that's a very good point. Yeah, it like everyone looks like
They put powder on.
Yeah.
Like a lot of powder on their faces.
which ties into me getting canceled on Twitter.
Yes.
That's right.
I texted him. I woke up at 4 a.m. because I had to take Kaya out to pee. And of course, because I'm brain broken, I immediately went on Twitter and I'm getting all these notifications. And I looked at one of
Dembo
them,
just
I clicked
wanted
on
to
it,
say I
and
think
my
it's great
response-
you're streaming from Amazon's stress relief prison. Room Keckle DNM Balls DNM prison. Give Wormy a warden's hat.
Stop. Okay. Look, I'm moving. Okay, you guys are gonna have to deal with the white background. Okay, for now. The saltine-esque background is only temporary.
response to you had like 12,000 likes, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I was right. Because
Well, you know what's funny is like it. So I deleted it because of.
Oh, you did?
Just because it had reached a point where I wasn't gaining anything from it. This happened to one of our.
Fatigue, maybe, yeah.
This happened to one of our Jordan Peterson shorts where we were very clearly making fun of Jordan Peterson, and then it only got recommended to Jordan Peterson fans, and so we saw no like upside from it, no subscriptions, no listens, just a bunch of like hate interactions. And so
Did we delete them on all platforms or just the TikTok?
honestly, I think just YouTube Shorts
Yeah.
because that was the most that was the white supremacy accelerator or whatever. And no, so the tweet like had a good ratio. You know what I mean?
Pull it up, right? It's on
No,
screen,
I don't
right?
want to do that.
It was when I woke up to see it at 4 a.m. It had 77,000 likes.
Yeah, it had like 80 some odd thousand
I
likes.
wanna
My
see the
response to it was when it was at like 1,000 likes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
replied and said, "This tweet 100% is going to leave the intended audience."
And I knew that, but I was surprised by how like uncharitable people are about, like, I just hit the side of the internet, and I want to sort of say that it's valid to have this opinion, but like some black people view any depiction of blackface as like irredeemable regardless of context. And I was tweeting a joke about, so for context,
Tropic Thunder?
there was a tweet yesterday about, and this is the other thing, is like this is gonna now like live on without the context of this moment, which is whatever. But there was this Judy Garland tweet where someone discovered that Judy Garland, when she was 17 years old, was in this movie where she was in blackface and doing like this
Horrifically abused throughout the process.
Right,
Which
so-
I think led to her death, right? At the
I
end.
don't know
100%. Actually, I do know. A lot of amphetamine abuse, a lot of drug abuse was happening.
for sure. That was even happening during Wizard of Oz and during
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Yeah, she's a child star in the only time that was even worse to be a child star than now.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and so someone was tweeting like this cancellation tweet for Judy Garland, where they're like, essentially they're like, "This is thanks to Gen Z for showing me this."
Yikes, honey, not a good look.
yeah.
And it was like it was like her doing blackface as like I think 13. At the age of 13.
I think
Yeah, and not writing
Yeah.
and directing the production. Like, it's just-
yeah.
I put that in the same category as like the person who was like thinking that Little Tay was assassinated or something.
Yeah.
And then was like, I just found out that Little Tay might be murdered. And then I found out she said the N-word. So now I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And I was
Tired of
like,
this.
what do you mean? She was
what do you
9.
mean? Yeah. So right. And
It's take poisoning. Like,
If you say a bad word when you're 9 years old, surprise, surprise, I think you should be forgiven. Especially when you are being milked for fucking content from your parents because you have fucking garbage parents who don't realize that putting their kids on the internet is not a good idea. That monetizing your children is not a good idea. But I don't know, you know what I mean? Like maybe, just maybe, 9-year-olds are not fully developed, and we can actually forgive them and teach them, hey, you can't say this. Also, meanwhile, half these people were using the gay F slur and doing anti-Asian takes back in the thousands. Yes. And I mean, like, even like the R word, right? It's like people can grow and learn and change. There are some offenses that are very clearly wrong. Like in the early 2000s, you still knew that you shouldn't call anyone the N-word, right? Like, I think we all agreed on that. But maybe when you were sub 10, you forgot, like, or you didn't know that you can't say that. You know what I mean? So, like, when you look at an adult who said the N-word when they were 30, 10 years ago, that's still bad. It's like, no, you knew this was bad and you did it, and you were an adult when you did it. That's still bad. But, like, I think that there are some things that require a little bit more context, I guess. You know? Especially, again, very good point, Chad. Especially when there are a lot of people who watch these videos, a lot of people who exist on the internet know how bad the internet was a decade ago and know how bad public school was a decade ago. Everyone said the R word. Everyone. And it has only been recently where people are like, oh, I didn't realize that this is kind of like a slur and I really shouldn't say it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say it in the future. And it's actually like the whiplash when you hear it in a show is crazy. Like I was watching Dexter months ago, probably like a year ago. I was rewatching it. And Morgan at one point, or like, sorry, they're both named Morgan, the sister. She says it and it's so jarring. It's so jarring. I was like, whoa. Oh my God. Whoa. Dexter's Lab? No, Dexter the Murder Show. The you know, the ginger. The really good actor, Michael C. Hall, I think. But yeah, I will admit I was guilty of this in middle and high school. Yeah, surprise. Maybe 10-year-olds can grow up to be good people. I was not a great 10-year-old, okay? I'm going to be honest. I was not the best. I wasn't the worst 10-year-old for sure, but surprise, I did stupid things as a 10-year-old, you know? Crazy. One of the crazy. Whoa. Gosh, but yeah. Okay, never mind, no. We're going to move on. But anyways, I think the point is salient.
No, we must lock her up as Chud.
Also, I'm going to say something as well. I don't know if you guys agree. Me personally, I feel like I developed actual real empathy in my like late teens. Like I had an idea, like my puny 9-10-year-old brain had an idea of empathy, but it wasn't until I was like, I would say like 17 until I was like, man, wait, some things are really fucked up. This is not good. Whoa. Like I genuinely, like I look back at like being 9 and I was like, I was a psychopath. Jesus Christ, you know? And that's just been my opinion. I feel like empathy is something that you develop over time. I think that the video that was posted by iDubbbz, Ian, about how he thought that he was an empathetic person and then he realized that he wasn't, and he currently is still working on it. And his video was amazing. I'm obviously going to be biased, but very, very amazing. Very amazing video. I had severe anxiety, so basically acted as empathy. Yeah. I didn't develop a deeper sense, that's the word I'm looking for, of empathy until I experienced grief, and that like woke me up. I don't think you can have that level of emotional intelligence in middle school. I don't think it's possible. It's something you have to learn. It's like a skill you have to train. It's like a muscle you have to flex, you know? So yeah. And your brain is like fucking not functioning. Okay, back to the video. Oh my God, the crazy socialist take. Children should be treated and regarded to as children. And children are going to make mistakes. crazy.
Like I have to say something, and so I guess I have to hate it.
And people will turn around and be like, "Oh yeah, so it's okay to say the N-word at 9?" It's like, no, she's 9, which means someone was making her say it. Get mad at the right person, not the 9-year-old. You fucking freak.
I mean, shit, man. Kinda, like more than as an adult.
It's like so mind.
And also, even if that kid wanted to say it, I feel like you don't understand the weight of certain words. And also, if you're 9 and saying the N-word, your parents are definitely saying the N-word. Like, I remember I think the first time I said fuck, I didn't realize you can't say that.
I was a homophobic little shit until I was like 17. Joke's on kid me, I'm queer half Keckle.
Leave me thinking for the 22 months. Exactly. Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot of words and I didn't know you weren't allowed to use them in the way that I was using them. I've talked to you guys many times about this on a variety of occasions, okay? And I would say things and people would be like, you can't say that. Thankfully, I never said the N-word, but I wasn't screaming it at other people as a 10-year-old, thankfully. But I remember having experiences where I was like, I can use this word. And then realizing, oh, I can't use this word. This is not the fetish. Yeah, if you guys have seen the fetish clip, that's a good example. The fingering clip is another good example. Words that I didn't know meant something already and that you couldn't use those words. I didn't know that. And then I became an adult and I was like, oh, or I had an adult tell me, oh, you can't say that. You can't do that actually. So anyways, yeah. If you're 9 and you're saying it, especially on camera, that is your parents' fault for not teaching you not to say that. You know?
Mind-boggling that we have this like incredibly like black or white, for lack of a better word.
Binary,
approach,
let's say.
this binary approach
yeah.
to like a racist act has occurred. Let's not investigate it further to understand like if the perpetrator was fucking 9. Like why are there any laws around additional protections for minors if we are not operating under the assumption that they don't know what the fuck they're doing?
Right.
I mean, literally the entirety of contract law, other than small purchases, goes out the window for minors. If you are stupid enough to sell something that a kid doesn't need and they don't pay you, or let's say you're like, sorry, I'm thinking about the words. You can get out of contracts as a kid because we put the onus on the adult to not be signing contracts with a kid. And it's not fair because if you're like a scammy salesman and you scam a kid, that kid doesn't know. Like, they are not working with the same level of like brain power that you're working, so they should be able to get out of contracts more easily. There are exceptions to the rules, of course, but it's a very, very cool thing that I did not know about. Let's press play while I try and look for this.
Like, it's the parents that are at fault.
It's like
like selling a car to a toddler or like selling a car to like a 10-year-old. You know what I mean? That contract is void. It's not. It doesn't matter.
if a child was working at like an unethical role, and like they're working on a battery farm, it's like, wow, yikes, 2-year-old child that they put in the.
It's really fucked up.
So
At the racism factory, which Judy Garland was working at.
Yeah.
Founded age 1.
Yeah. So I sort of tweeted a parody of this tweet of Kin Jong from Community, who
A show you didn't make.
a show.
We should
Oh yeah, sorry. I teach music. Playing an instrument with an edgy sound is something that is possible. Yesterday, one of my high schoolers walked up and said, "Can we practice edging sometime?" And I really had to pull it together. That was me. Okay? That was my entire life. That was my entire fucking life. Okay? It was me fucking saying stupid shit like that. Okay? For anyone who missed the fingering story, I this was back in my semi scene. I never went full scene phase, but this is back when fingerless gloves were really big, and I got some fingerless gloves, and I put my like hand in the gloves, and I'm looking at like my friend who's sitting next to me on the yellow bus, and I think I was doing like this, and I was like, look, I'm like fingering, and she just looked at me and she's like, we're the same age, by the way. This happened to me very frequently where I just didn't know anything, and she was like, that means something else. That means something else. And I'm like, oh, I'll stop saying that. I won't say that ever again, actually. Okay. All right. Pog. So anyways, yeah, kids are stupid and dumb, and they don't contribute to the economy, and that's why we should force them into slave labor.
The show that I
you didn't make Community.
Yeah, one of my greatest regrets, actually.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Dan Harmon called me up when I was 14 years
you're
old.
in for the mines.
And he said,
I don't think
"Do
that's
you
gonna
wanna-"
work.
Yeah. I was like, I just don't think anyone cares
He
about
called you up
community
for
college.
that episode only.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm 14 and I love
And I'm in,
mines.
and I'm sign me up. So in the episode Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, it's one of
Green
the
Mountain,
greatest
thank you for
episodes
the
of Community,
17
but
months.
one of the elements of it is Kin Jong's character comes in what's the word?
Drow, yeah.
Well, yeah, is that how you say it? It's like Drow.
Drow.
He's like
Drow.
a night elf. So
Yeah, so he's a night elf, and he says that he's a night elf.
Yeah.
But his skin is painted like pitch black with white hair, which is like, if you look at fan art or if you look at like artist depictions of this character, it's like that's what it is.
Yeah, in some canons they are just pitch black.
Yeah, and so the show is having him do this, and then there's a side joke about, you know, Shirley's character says, "Are we just going to ignore that hate crime?" And then he immediately like gets killed and leaves.
The joke is how not okay what he's doing
Yes,
is.
and so
And especially because everyone else is showing up not like that. There are exceptions to the rule, I would say, to changing your skin tone. I would say if you're playing a fictional character that has a skin tone that doesn't exist in the real world, probably fine. Like if you're cosplaying a tiefling and you paint yourself in all red, obviously fine. You're painting yourself in all gray because you're a Homestuck fan, obviously fine, right? But there are some things that very clearly you shouldn't be doing, you know? And changing your skin tone to be darker is one of those for sure. For sure, you know? Blue like an Asari, that's true. That is true. You know what I mean? And I think if you are cosplaying, because even in instances with Critical Role, many of you know Critical Role, they've done like cosplays of their character. Surprise, surprise, none of them changed their skin tone. Like, none of them decided to engage in, like, brown face or black face. Like, they were like, okay, doesn't matter what color my skin tone is in game. That's not relevant. I'm not going to get in cosplay and do blackface because that would be insane. And I don't want to do that, actually. They do, but the drow is blue. Yeah, I'm talking about not engaging in, like, actual blackface. I'm saying, like, they probably have done some skin painting. Like, I think someone did skin painting for a tiefling, and obviously red is fine. I'm talking about just other human colors. You know? Justin Trudeau leaves the chat. Oh, God. I mean, if you're playing dress up or cosplay or whatever, it's fine to have, like, blue or pink skin, but just, like, don't do black or brown face. Yeah, it's not that difficult of a rule to follow either. It's really not. I think the question is more, how much tanning spray is acceptable? That is a more interesting question. A minimal amount, I would say. 1 or 2 shades. I dressed up as Chris Tucker's character in Fifth Element, but only just wore his costume. I didn't do blackface. Surprised you don't need to do that, you know? CT Vibes, thank you so much for the 7 months. Thank you. Typically, you have to be funnier than you are offensive, which is what happened in the Community episode, and Netflix corrected it for no reason. I would agree. I would. What are your thoughts on Klingons? Too complicated. Too complicated. All right, back to the video.
To me, I was saying, also the fact that they, the show is criticizing blackface or criticizing the use of, it was saying blackface is bad.
Yeah.
And
A brave take.
yeah. And so the fact that episode got taken off of streaming services, I was a little bit, critiquing that as also a surface level take of this thing. And that was the joke, to take a surface level thing. Obviously, jokes are not allowed on Twitter. Comedy is not legal now.
You used this like weird parody, you said it was?
Yeah, parody.
That's when it's real and you mean it?
But okay, listen.
Right.
So,
And you want it to happen to everyone else.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I will say though is that there are some people who believe that like there is no way to use blackface in a way that can even criticizing blackface's use in media by using blackface is bad. Like some people believe this, and
which completely lacks nuance and context. Completely. I think if that is your opinion, don't watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, good example, Always Sunny in Philadelphia puts fucking terrible pieces of garbage in a room together and lets them do the worst thing possible. And every single reasonable person in that universe.
I don't want to debate the merits of that, but I found myself sort of there was a small quote tweet. It didn't have a lot of likes, but it was like enough people where I'm sure you get this all the time and you're numb to it, where people were just like, oh yeah, the white half really jumped out on this one.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Glad I finally or never watched this show, or he doesn't have any black friends. So I stopped watching his videos. And I was like, this is so, I like looked at people's profiles and I was like, these are teenagers.
Yeah, no.
They're
When
like
you see,
so young.
Yeah, when you see like a it's not an anime. I don't know what it is. It's like a different kind of
Yeah.
art. Like when you see that, immediately I'm like, this is either like a racist pedophile,
Right.
or well, usually it'll be like a person of color,
Yeah.
like, is a character. So then
Yeah.
I immediately know, oh, this is like a kid. Like this
Right.
is like a 14-year-old,
Yeah.
Zoomer, 14-year-old teenager who's like really invested in like whatever the show is.
Right. Yeah,
they're watching.
So that type of thing is so interesting to me because it's almost like they don't have object permanence. Like if they haven't seen me, they've probably only seen me hang out with content creators and other people who have an audience and not like, actual like, and I do collaborate with black creators. We've had like, it's just like a not true thing, right?
Sure. But it's so much less fun to chirp about.
But it's so much less fun. Yeah. And so, but it kind of hits on these things of like, the sort of, we did an episode many years ago about like, are you black enough? Where it's like, there's so much of like wanting to take someone's blackness away, where I like did not, it's like, I found out I had a white father from a DNA test, when I was 28 or something. Like I didn't know white people growing up. And so for someone to like project this a experience on me that I didn't go through and so confidently like spout it out it's such an internet thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just don't want any part of this. I'm no longer gaining anything from this.
I got a lot of flack for
Yeah.
even
Yeah. I think if you are a large enough content creator, this is just going to happen to you. It's just going to happen to you. I've talked about this mildly before, but like, I'm from New York, and in New York, everyone talks like they are from New York. They're kind of rude. There's like a little bit of slang. Nobody cares if you say like bruh or like you say like fucking dead ass or whatever. You cut some words. Like you can talk in whatever speak you want. Nobody will ever judge you. Obviously, don't fucking say the N-word, but like you will sound like you're a New Yorker. And I remember I used to, obviously there's some code switching happening. Like when I pull up at a fucking interview, I speak in proper, perfect white people English, right? But when I would stream, I would engage in just speaking how I normally speak. And people accused me of having a black accent. And I was like, well, that's how I normally speak, but I will change the way that I like to speak because I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear this bullshit. I just don't want to deal with it. I'm good. Thank you. No, nope. Mm-mm. Someone accused me of having a black accent because I kept saying the word dog. Like DAWG. Because I'd be like, dog, what are you doing? And they'd be like, the black accent isn't cute. And it's like, this is just how I speak. So, yeah.
Dog.
Big dog. I say that all the time in person. And obviously, we can all recognize that those people are fucking stupid, right? We can all recognize that there's nothing black scent about the word dog. And also, that's what I grew up around. Like, I went to predominantly Hispanic and black schools. That is how I spoke. Those are the people I hung out with. Nobody cared. And then you show up on the internet and it's like, well, you look white enough, so I'm accusing you of being racist. It's like, what? Oh my God. First of all, I think you're wrong. But second of all, you're insane. That's crazy. Using contractions while you're speaking, that's inappropriate. Yeah. What was I trying to say? Yeah, but I feel like as a content creator, you have to reel back a lot of different parts of yourself because dealing with the flack, it's so not fun. It's so not fun. That's like a permanently online person because if you said that to someone IRL, they would just think you're a weirdo. No, if you said that in real life, you would just get a wedgie and a swirly. They would literally just be like, are you fucking two? Are you two? What is this dumb fucking take?